Test, can you hear me, John Bar?
1 sec. It's not. Okay, 1 sec. Okay, go on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first Instagram live stream. This is my very first time that I'm doing this, so I am incredibly nervous, as you can all tell. My trusted friend Shombor, aka Myth Rider, is here as well. Shombor, is the audio quality okay? It is okay. Wonderful, and here we have even more known people. Viv Tanner, one of our wonderful artists, has joined us as well. This is just fantastic. We are gonna do a little bit of rabble for 5 minutes and let people join in, and then I will, thank you, I'll try to not be nervous. And then I will hopefully give you a guided tour through the basic rules of our game, and also go into the details of the Solitaire board, which we have here right in front of us. And we have a Solitaire board, so that means, of course, we have another board as well, which is a board for 2 players, which we will touch upon on another occasion, that is. Now, I will turn off your wonderful comments once I'm going to start talking about the rules. Don't be alarmed. I love seeing your comments, but we need like the full length of this wonderful board for our cards, and unfortunately we need to kind of spare the comments yet. Please use the wonderful question function, and I'm gonna return after giving you the guided tour to the questions, and then hopefully gonna answer all the questions. So I'd say let's wait another minute. By the way, we are here live from Vienna, Austria. It's winter, it's dark, the sun has set, and there's ice on the streets. I wonder where everyone else is. Is there anyone from across the pond, aka the USA? Americans on board, yay or nay? Well, I assume some will be here as well. I'd say let's get started right away. Bulgaria, wonderful. You probably also have like the greatest weather. Poland, interesting. Canada, we have made it across the pond. Wonderful. Yeah, snow. We also have a lot of snow here. Not so much in Vienna, but on the outskirts, and in particular to the west. Like everyone is, yes, and Scott won also from Vienna, but not where the snow is, in the dirty inner city. Great. Only 7 people. This is fantastic. This makes me less nervous. So, let's get started. One thing up front, we have these wonderful Sefirot cards here. These are basically test prints that we made so far. I am not gonna show you the game with these cards yet, though, because for the simple reasons that the deck is still a work in progress, and to just have you to show you plain gray card with just the name of the card written on it is a little bit of a waste. So I'm going to use my lucky deck, which is the original Sefirot development deck. As you can see, it still has some weird other spelling and some mysterious icons carved into it. This is not my favorite deck, but it is my most used one because it features the right dimension to actually play the game. Why will probably some of you asking, do we have, for example, these small cards here? Once I'll start playing, you realize that if the game would be played with like larger, so like actual classical tower-sized ones, this would by far not suffice to cover all the different areas. Basically, we would basically need like really large arms, which I don't have, unfortunately. So unless you're Octodad or some other octopus being and have large tentacles, you could use tower cards for it. But with this limited board and our poor human arms, we have to use these small cards. And I'm going to use a wonderful deck. It's actually not that wonderful. It's overused. It's a little tacky, and it's my beloved Toth Tarot deck with bridge-sized cards. So some of you might have seen. Oh, there's a question. I think I'm going to take that question. Oh, Potter says, please save the live afterwards. Yes, we will save the live one. It will go on IGT TV, and we will also do re-uploads on both Twitter and Facebook. I'm going to take one last question, and then I'm going to jump into the explanations. Will there be a larger board available for traditional sized cards? Good question, Holly. I don't think at the moment that this is an option. And it has mainly to do with it that, especially the Solitaire version, if you use these particular amount of fields that we are seeing right now, if you would extend it so that classical tower-sized cards would have place, you would need really long arms. So I think for this version we have smaller bridge-sized ones as well. And this is another reason because we want to have tower cards that have a really high quality, and you need a quite fair amount of shuffling if you want to play the game more often. I mean, it's a solitaire game, so you can play it over and over and over again. So the shuffling would actually not be really good for the advanced quality of cards that we are planning. I'm just going to save the next question for after the explanation, but keep those questions coming. And I am going to turn off the comments now so that we can see the game surface undisturbed. So, basic gameplay. I'm just going to repeat what I posted last week. So, we play the game on this wonderful board. It has essentially two distinctive areas and then two a little bit more discrete areas. It has this island with these three series on which we will place cards. And then it has this tree which springs from these series that kind of wanders onto the heaven. Now there's a little bit of a distinction between this is more like the heavens, and then we move into like something beyond the heavens, like let's say a divine, more celestial sphere. But let's not get lost into the technicalities of the heavens, which we totally could, by the way, with this setup, but just not yet. So how do we play the game? Well, we have a tower deck. It's well shuffled. And we start by picking up 3 cards. These are our 3 cards. And what do we have here? Oh my God, this is a catastrophic beginning already. In a good way, we drew the Fool, or Der Narr, it's a German tarot card, and the Universe. Now, we are going to draw yet another card, and this is when the game starts. Now we actually have to start placing at least one of these cards down. The minor arcana, they will always place placed onto the seers. And we always start in the top left corner and go in rows of 3. If I make any mistakes in English, by the way, please pardon me. I had it for like 3 years in school and I wasn't particularly good in it. The major arcanas, they will always be placed onto the board itself. And then there will be a very particular mechanic in which the minor arcana are being transferred onto the upper board. So let's just go with the universe. It's a strong start. It's a good foundation for our journey, the universe. It's maybe a little bit full on, but yeah, could be worse. Then we're picking up another minor arcana. It's the 7 of Pentacles, or Fehlschlag. These cards are pretty practical in that respect, that they tell us what, like some basic word what they are about. Anyway, by the way, I'm a game designer. I'm not a advanced tarot reader. Just wanted to mention that, but we have those on the team as well. Let's start the game with placing down now the minor arcana, and I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. We have a 7. Take another card. Oh my God, it's another major arcana. This is a curious one, by the way, in case someone doesn't know this. In Aleister Crowley's 12th arcana, the 14 is Kunst, well, in the German version, or art. So we're going to place that there as well. And we're just going to keep on picking up our, oh my God, more major arcana. So here we have the moon. So slowly, we are like forming our, would say, little path of destiny here. This is a very strong beginning. Normally, you don't have that many major arcana. You can also get stuck with minor arcana here for quite a while. So this is great because now we are presented with the chance to actually execute one of the core principles of transferring the arcanas, because we have a 3 of Wands. This is great because we're going to place it here, and now the basic magic of Sefirot in all 3 different variations, the 2-player ones and the single-player one. Once you reach a combination of 10, 20, or 30, either on a horizontal level or on a vertical level, this is essentially resulting in the fact that we have to take these cards that have this combination and we have to transfer them onto the major arcana. So now we have this with the overall amount of 10, and now we can place them. This is an interesting combination. This is virtue and failure, and now we can try to place them in a strategic way onto these cards. Now we can always kind of do the easy path and say, well, just gonna, we have 18, 21, 14, so we can always just use the 10, or we can split those cards up. But the 3 and the 4, or like the 7 and the 8, it's not too, might create complex situation, because what we want to do, and this is the basic gameplay, we want to cover with our cards the value of these cards. So this is essentially the basic gameplay. We are taking these cards and we want to cover the entire value. We want to have like a minor arcana worth 14 in order to, quote unquote, fulfill these cards. So I'm just going to take this 10 and I'm going to place it onto the universe. And this is something that basically people can handle as they like. I'm always tend to do this. So I can still see these values and these values together. And then we're picking up our cards again, and we're gonna keep on playing the game. Oh, now we have a face card. Prinz der Stäbe. It's, the Knight of Wands. And we're gonna place him down. He has no indicated number, but in the game he counts as 10. So the face cards can be quite powerful, but they can also be highly problematic. We're picking up another card. It's another Major Arcana. This is curious. Luck, also a specialty of the fortune, the Tothero in this particular variation. You see, we are slowly reaching up here, and soon we're gonna hit like another rule. So let's take down the 4 of Wands here. Here we have a 3, and see, now we have a row, but it's 10, 4, 3, 17, so it's of no particular consequences. And now, what can we do now? Okay, this is an interesting one. See, now I'm seeing a good pattern. I picked up a 9 and I have a 1. So I'm going to put the 1 down here. I'm going to take another card. Oh, I have another 9. And I'm going to do... So yeah, I have an idea. I'm gonna place the 9 down. Now I have 10. And I'm gonna do something a little bit unusual. I'll take this 10. So now, hear me out, because there's another rule coming now. I can place cards, minor arcanas, onto major arcanas, but I can also combine up to 2 cards with each other. So I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to place it onto the universe. Oops, it's a little delicate, especially because I'm like crouching behind the camera. And then, so this means here we have 11. So the next 10 and the universe is basically a done deal for me. And this 9, I can now place in between fortune and the moon. Why am I doing this? I am doing this because I am hoping. Hello, can you hear me again? Is it working? Can you hear me again? Can you see me again? Sorry, I had a quick technical hiccup. The stream broke down for a second. Damn you, Facebook. So what I was about to say, I put the 9 here so I can play another 9, which gives me the value of the moon, and then I need another 10. And I can hit them basically with a combination. There's probably like other strategies as well to play this, but this probably could work nicely. And then I can always deposit like a little bit more in that as well. So let's take another card and escalate the game quite a bit. Prinz der Kelche, the Knight of Cups. Now we have 20. So this is excellent, because now I can essentially put this wherever I like. I place it in this one, in the very idiosyncratic Crowley card art on 14. And here I have another 10. And this gives me, it gives me 21. So the universe is fulfilled. I cover that basic part of my destiny. It's a done deal. I graduated from the universe. And again, you can handle this however you want, but this is how I basically fulfill cards. Okay, where is this going, you might think? And can you win or can you lose this game as well? I am having a run here that is incredibly lucky until now, I must say. So this will take a little while, but I'm probably just gonna, oh my god, pull the death card. Is that a good sign? I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just gonna speed the process up and do like a little bit of a, let's say, more fast-paced version. So, which card could I play now? Maybe a 7, 14. Let's go here. There's no result yet. We have another 10 of wands goes here. I see. Oh, we have an ace. Yeah, I probably should be a little bit more careful right now. Yes. So now I want to play my 9. This is actually quite good. Once I get used to this handling of the numbers, and it takes usually 1 or 2 tries, this can be played very, very quickly. I don't know if any of you has a grandmother that played Solitaire, but you've seen these grandmothers that just go like handling cards incredibly swiftly, and this will be you playing Sefirot Solitaire version in the near future, hopefully. So, picking up another card. Oh my god, it's the Hermit! I'm sorry, I moved the table. This is all very much in progress, as you can tell. Too much excitement, cloth accident. The Hermit is down, and I'm having a 3. So this is much more on the calm side, perfect. And now I will harvest these 2 cards. Ooh, very simple. We have a 10, and we'll put that to... We'll put that to good use. But I'd say this is quite clear. So we have the Moon, Fortune, and here we have 18, and here we have 18. We need another 10, but 10s are fairly easy to produce, so that's not an issue. And now we have the dreaded Ace. And this might have been a bit of a mistake how I played this now, because now the Ace is a very important card in this game, because you always end up with like 1, I need 1. And you know, like the 1 is really only working with the aces. It's the number that's, of course, like maybe you have like numbers that can be combined, 3 or 4. You can use several cards, but the ace is not among them. So I need to waste these cards, and I will waste it most likely onto this one. So I'll put it onto the Art Major Arcana. Good. I think with this, we basically covered the basic aspects of the gameplay. So you've seen how this version works. Of course, there's 10, there's 20, there's 30. There's also combinations, of course. And what can also happen is that these things change dynamically and in cascades. So I have a middle row, and then there's maybe another card below, and then it gets pushed around and creates like new combinations. So that can happen too, but this is rather advanced. I'm gonna create a bit of an accident right now by just completely cheating, and I'm just gonna, let's say, park random cards onto these. That's actually doesn't even work. Gonna park random cards onto these ones. So what happens, for example, if I place down this combination? So I have 20 now. Oh, I made a severe mistake, I just realized. There's a combination of 10 hidden in here. Well, my bad. This is my first live stream, and there's just 7 people watching this incredible bad demonstration of the game, as I just realized. But yeah, even better. Let's say this. Since we moved cards around, let's say we have this combination, and it's indeed 30. This is the highest one in the game. What are we doing with all these cards? Because obviously here we have 3, and here we have 1, and here we have 4. There is, for this particular purpose, the opportunity to use these wonderful angels here. So we have these 4 cards, and they don't have any space here. They're all way too high. There's like a 3. Actually, the 3 we can even use. The 3 we could use here. But what are we doing with the rest of these cards? We have 27. This is a nightmare. But the angels can save us. So we place these cards onto these angelical figures on the side. And that means we have 1 card left in our overspill. So these are basically like compared to like a video game, so-called extra lives that the game gives you. This is also a way to make the game more difficult as well. It's an opportunity essentially to make the game much harder or much easier. I can say I'm going to play with 4 angels. I can play with 0 angels. I can also, by the way, not play with a hand. I can draw cards directly from the Talon and just place them down. This creates a completely different gameplay because here I have a strategic option. You know, I can move, I can think, I can structure how the cards are being placed here. When I draw them directly from the Talon, okay, obviously this doesn't go down, but it moves up. I'm gonna be much more a subject to the forces of destiny. So essentially, we can now move to the last consequences of the game. How do you lose the game? You lose the game when you don't have any more space to place cards. Let's say if all these angels are covered, or choose not to play with the angel cards, and if I happen to draw a particular combination, there's no more space on the board, I'm out of luck. If you play with like harder versions, with no hand, no angels, this can happen after 5, or actually technically after 3 moves. You can be out of, or even 2 actually. You can be out of luck immediately, and then the game is over. Now, how you win the game? You win the game by covering all the major arcana up there, and fulfilling them, and having either no covered angels because you didn't use them, or you have enough angels left. And that is how you win the game of Sefirot. I think it's fairly easy to go far, but it's fairly hard to actually win and fulfill the board. So this is something we're still tweaking, you know. I mean, these are fluid rules. It's a card game, so we're still very, very much open to any feedback and people playing house rules and variations, and this will be a very dynamic process. And there is one more thing. The Fool. Or here's it in our variation. The Fool is, of course, a little bit outside of the rules. And the Fool has an interesting principle. So if the Fool comes into play very early, it just sits on the board. But if the Fool comes into your, would say, life existence, destiny, on this tree, in a situation where you can reach via these trajectories, so you need to be either here, here, or here already, this position, the fool gains an cosmic amount of value it can absorb. And that value is 40. So that means that with the fool and with being obviously foolish at the right moment in your existence, you can reach quite far. While obviously if you're like foolish too early in life, you might just be foolish. And this is how you play the game of Sefirot in its Solitaire version. And pardon me again for making this grave mistake with the 7 and the 3. This is a typical thing. Obviously, when I'm talking, I cannot pay so much concentration to those numbers. Nevertheless, I hope you understood the basics. And I think we should still ask a few questions. And we do have indeed at least one. If you want to ask questions now is the time. I'm going to take the first question. When will it come out? Yeah, this is a very good question by Blaloland. It will come out in... I had a quick hiccup with the connection again. It's rather strange because I should have ultra high-speed internet here, but apparently it's not that high speed. Any more questions concerning game production rules? I see hearts. I see someone right next to me typing. Is he typing a question? We will soon find out. Any more questions? No questions? Well, in that case, I'm going to just turn the comments on so we can have a lovely chat as well. Thank you a lot for listening and for bearing with me. I hope you understood at least some of the basics. We will, as I said, save this video and re-upload it onto IGTV and also onto Twitter and onto all sorts of other channels and hard drives and secret places and not so secret places. That's it. I'll wish you a very nice morning, afternoon, lunch, or evening, wherever you are. And I shall see you, hopefully, next week. In the next editions of these live sessions, we will cover two-player versions. We'll be also covering the concepts on how you can use this game, not just like a game, but you can understand all the different connections and principles, at least on a basic layer, as a sort of divination. And that said, I say goodbye.